welcome to VOP Business Show. I'm Joy Adesua Iromosele. The Central Bank of Nigeria's intervention in the power, manufacturing and aviation sectors have risen to 5.6 trillion naira in 3 years. The soft loans were advanced amid the continued and varied challenges facing the key sectors of the economy. The Apex Bank's loan to the three sectors were obtained from the CBN result and accounts between 2020 and 2022. The reports, which showed credit concentration in the various sectors of the economy, indicated that power, aviation and manufacturing sectors recorded an aggregate of 5.6 trillion naira in loans from the central bank. The CBN, under its suspended governor Godwin Emefiele, competed with commercial banks in aggressive lending to some sectors of the economy. The Apex Bank loans, however, came in single-digit interest rate and long repayment tenure. The breakdown revealed that CBN's receivables and other assets in the power and aviation sector of Nigeria stood at 50.6 billion naira in 2022, a decline of the 96.4% from 1.39 trillion naira in 2021. Also, in the power and aviation sector, it reported 935 billion naira in 2020. In the manufacturing sector, it reported 1.23 trillion naira in 2022, an increase of 33.46% from 919.03 billion naira in 2021. In addition, its concentration in the manufacturing sector was at 1.07 trillion naira in 2020. It cost the Central Bank of Nigeria and its subsidiary about 74.84 billion naira to produce and roll out currencies, including new naira notes in 2022. Despite the scarcity of naira that plagued the country in the latter months of 2022, the CBN spent 40.4%, which is more than the 53.3 billion naira it spent in the preceding year, to roll out currencies, according to the Apex Bank's recently released financial statement. The CBN spent 29.7 billion naira on currency issue expenses in 2022, a 95.7% increase from the 15.2 billion naira it spent in 2021. The cost of sale, which equates to the expenses incurred by one of the subsidiary, which is the Nigerian Security Printing and Minting PLC in this case, in respect of the production of currency notes and coins, was 45.2 billion naira in 2022, an 18.72% increase from the 38.1 billion naira it was in 2021. According to the bank's 2020 currency report, in 2022, the total amount in circulation was 3 trillion naira, a 9.47% decline from the 3.3 trillion naira that was in circulation in 2021. In 2022, the total cost incurred on printing of banknotes was 58.6 billion naira, a 28.83% decrease from the 75.5 billion naira that was recorded in 2019. The current administration of Bola Tinubu is expected to pay off $3.4 billion owed to the International Monetary Fund during his tenure. It was reported that the federal government of Nigeria is expected to pay the IMF a total of $3.51 billion between 2022 and 2026 to offset the $3.4 billion loan. However, according to information obtained from the webpage on the IMF's website, there is an outstanding of $3.2 billion, which will be paid off during the current administration. In April 2020, the IMF disbursed a $3.4 billion emergency financial assistance to Nigeria. The loan was approved under the Rapid Financing Instrument by the Executive Board of the IMF on April 28 to address challenges arising from the economic impact of COVID-19 in the country. The loaned amount was disbursed on April 30, 2020. It was observed that repayment had been extended to 2027 from the initial 2026 earlier reported. In total, the new administration is expected to pay $3.2 billion to the IMF, which further suggests that the previous administration likely paid $320 million on loan. In its 2022 financial statement, the CBN made reference to the loan. Data obtained from the Nigerian Upstream Petroleum Regulatory Commission has indicated that while the country's total oil production in June was 37.5 million barrels, it dropped to 33.5 million barrels in July. Nigeria has lost about 249 billion naira crude oil revenue in July following a plunge in the country's oil output by over 4 million barrels in the same month. This shows that the country lost about 4 million barrels of oil between June and July. Pipeline vandalism and crude oil theft have been blamed severally as the reason for the plunge in the country's oil output. According to the data from the World Bank, the average cost of Brent, the global benchmark for crude oil in July 2023, was $80.1 per barrel. By losing 4 million barrels of crude oil in July, it implies that Nigeria lost about $320.4 million in the review month. The ceremony to swear in the 45 ministers designate is currently underway in Aso Rock. The event is presided over by President Bola Tinubu. The event is being held at the banquet hall of the presidential villa. The president has asked the Senate to confirm 48 ministerial nominees, but only 45 were cleared. Nasser El-Rufai, the former governor of Kaduna, Stella Okotete, and Danladi Abubakar were not confirmed as the Senate had not received security clearance about them during the confirmation hearing. The exchange rate between the Naira and the US dollar, according to the data released on the FMDQ Security Exchange, the official forex trading portal, showed that the Naira opened at 761.82 per dollar and closed at 739.52 Naira per dollar on Friday, August 18. In a circular, the CBN said all FX windows are now collapsed into the investors and exporters window. And that's it on VOP Business Show on VOP TV. We would like you to subscribe and engage with us on YouTube. It is Voice of the People TV. And on all the social media channels, it is VOP TV Live. I'm Joy Adesuwa Iramosele. Many thanks for watching.